Hello Dolphins fans, coming with the latest Dolphins news for you. There is still one issue hanging in the air, and that is the Tua situation, and we have other important matters to discuss. So without further ado, hit that like button if you have been a Dolphins fan for over 27 years. And let's get to the news. Alright, here we go. Tyler Huntley, who has been holding down the fort at quarterback while Tua Tagovailoa recovers, has been working hard to make the most of his time as the Dolphins starter. And trust me, there's a lot more going on behind the scenes than you might think. So, as you know, Tua is still on injured reserve after that tough hit against the Buffalo Bills in September. The good news is that he is eligible to start practicing again on October 23rd and could potentially play against the Arizona Cardinals shortly after. But until then, it's all up to Huntley to lead the team, and it looks like he's been making some serious changes during the bye week to hone his skills and get more in sync with his teammates. Head coach Mike McDaniel had some interesting things to say when discussing Huntley's progress. According to McDaniel, the bye week wasn't just about rest for Huntley, it was all about getting better. McDaniel mentioned how important it was for Tyler to focus on fundamentals, particularly his footwork and understanding of the Dolphins' offensive concepts. It seems Huntley has been diving deep into the playbook and using every second to improve his game. And let's be real, for a guy who's only been on the team for a few weeks, that's no easy feat. Now, let's talk numbers. In his second game, Huntley completed 18 of 31 passes for 194 yards. That's more than double what he threw for in Week 4. Sure, he didn't throw for a touchdown and threw an interception in our win over the Patriots, but you can see the progress. In his last two games, Huntley has thrown for 290 yards, no touchdowns, and one interception. Not ideal, but considering the circumstances, not bad either. The Dolphins' offense still ranks 21st in total yards and is struggling in points, averaging just 12.3 per game, which is dead last in the league. But here's the thing. According to Next Gen Stats, our receivers are actually getting open on over 54% of their routes, which is pretty solid. So what's the problem? Well, it's clear that there's still a lack of chemistry between Huntley and the receivers, and that's understandable. The guy just joined the team and was thrown right into the fire. This bye week was crucial for him to try to build that chemistry, and McDaniel seems confident that he's headed in the right direction. During his time off, Huntley took a different approach than you might expect. Instead of slacking off, he dedicated himself fully to improving. McDaniel even said that 5 days of extra work for Huntley probably felt like an eternity because he had so much to catch up on. It's a lot to ask of someone who's learning on the fly, but Huntley is handling it like a true professional. And it's not just the coaches who see the effort. Wide receiver Jalen Waddle also had some praise for Huntley. Waddle mentioned how quickly Huntley's been adapting to the offense and building connections with the receivers, which isn't easy when you're thrown into the mix like he has been. Huntley even reached out to Waddle during the bye week, asking him to come back early for some extra throwing sessions. That's the kind of dedication that can make a difference, and it shows that Huntley is committed to improving every single day. Now, as we gear up to face the Indianapolis Colts, it's clear that McDaniel still has a lot of faith in Huntley. In fact, even if Skylar Thompson fully recovers from his rib injury, McDaniel has said that Huntley's going to remain the starter for now. The coaches have seen Huntley make steady improvements each week, and there's a lot of excitement about what he can do, especially against the Colts defense that's been struggling this season. They're ranked 30th in total yards allowed, so this could be Huntley's chance to really show off what he's learned and make a statement. But let's not forget, preparing for the Colts won't be easy, especially with the recent resurgence of veteran quarterback Joe Flacco. Flacco led the Colts to a win over the Titans, and you know he's going to come in confident. McDaniel even mentioned that it's a challenge preparing for a team with its own quarterback uncertainties, but he's confident the Dolphins are ready for anything. So, what can we expect from Huntley this week? Well, this game against the Colts could be his last start if Tua returns soon, but it's a crucial one. The AFC playoff race is heating up, and the Dolphins need to maintain their momentum. Huntley's progress during the bye week could be the key to keeping our playoff hopes alive, and this game is a big opportunity for him to prove himself. Now, I want to hear from you, Dolphins fans. What do you think about Huntley's performance so far? Do you think he's ready to take the next step and lead the Dolphins to victory this week? And how excited are you to see Tua return to the field? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Now let's get to something very important, a possible trade between the Dolphins and, believe it or not, the Jets. Yes, you heard that right. A rare Dolphins-Jets deal that could help both teams after the Davante Adams trade to New York. Let's dive into the details and see what this could mean for us. So, here's the scoop. The New York Jets just made a blockbuster move by trading for Davante Adams, and now they may be looking to offload a few players to balance their roster. One name that has been thrown around? Haason Reddick. The Jets have reportedly given Reddick permission to seek a trade, and guess who represents him? None other than Drew Rosenhaus, who, as we all know, is based here in Miami and has strong connections to many Dolphins players. Now, why would the Dolphins be interested in Reddick? Well, we need a solid pass rusher after losing Jalen Phillips for the season, and Bradley Chubb's return is still a big question mark. Adding Reddick to our defense could be just what we need to bolster our pass rush and help turn things around. Reddick is a proven talent, and with the Jets facing some salary cap issues after acquiring Adams, they may be willing to make a deal, especially since they would rather trade him to an AFC team than an NFC team. That makes the Dolphins a perfect trade partner. But here's the thing, Dolphins fans, the Jets may not even see us as much of a threat this season. With just 2 wins so far, we've struggled even with Tua at the helm, and our games haven't exactly been pretty. But don't count us out just yet. We're still in the AFC East race, 2 games behind Buffalo, and there's still plenty of football to be played. If we can pull off a big win over the Bills in Orchard Park, we could shake things up in the division. Now, back to Reddick. Would trading him be the magic bullet? Maybe, maybe not. At this point, it's not just about adding talent. This is about getting our team to perform consistently and turn the season around. If things continue the way they are, we could even end up as sellers by the trade deadline in November. But for now, a move for Reddick could be a sign that we're still fighting to stay in the running. So what do you guys think? Should the Dolphins make a move for Hasten Reddick? Or should we focus on other areas to improve the team? So here's what happened. Both the Buffalo Bills and New York Jets made big moves in bringing in star wide receivers. The Jets signed Davante Adams, while the Bills signed Amari Cooper. For us Dolphins fans, this is a big deal because it directly impacts our chances of winning the AFC East. We have 2 games left against the Jets, and with Adams now on the roster, those matchups just got a lot tougher. And don't forget, we still have 1 more game against the Bills, who are already tough without Cooper, and now they've only gotten stronger. But it's not all bad news. The silver lining here is that these trades also impact the teams we face later on. The Raiders and Browns, who lost Adams and Cooper, should now be better opponents when we face them later in the season. It's a bit of a mixed bag, but every win will count as we fight for a playoff spot. And speaking of the playoffs, these wide receiver trades have sparked a lot of conversation about the top WR trios in the NFL. The Jets, with Adams, Garrett Wilson and Allen Lazard, are now in the mix. But hey, let's not forget about our own Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. If they can get back to the explosive form we saw in the opener against Jacksonville, we could be right up there in the conversation. And who knows, maybe Odell Beckham Jr. will finally start making the impact we've been hoping for. There's still time before the trade deadline, so don't be surprised if the Dolphins make a move. But don't expect us to go after another big-name wide receiver. If anything, we'll be looking to fill other holes on the roster to give us that extra boost. So what do you guys think? Do these trades change how you feel about our chances this season? Leave your thoughts in the comments and let's get the conversation started. And of course, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more Dolphins news. Thanks for watching, and fins up.